very warm welcome in week 19 of Unified. So, week 18, we learned about accepting, about promoting self acceptance of others, just like we did for ourselves. We just need to put the same eye for others because there is only lesson learned at different levels, and we are all vehicle for each other to learn our divinity, to learn our wholeness. Now we will expand or receive one more tool this week by understanding the truth that our dream brings to us. So before we get into the chapter, we all know, we all are so much excited to know about our dreams. It's a mystery for humankind. And Babaji will present us what dream is, what it actually means, and it can be decoded by our higher self. So we are totally responsible to know, to understand what we are and what we have, and then use it in this journey of being from doing to being. We are enabling ourselves with one after the another tools that we are learning through Unified. So before we get into the chapter, let us close our eyes for 2 minutes. Let us center ourselves to receive the chapter. We might have some hesitation or questions or conflicts of what we are doing. Is it right or not? Can I trust myself? Let it all park aside. And just be open to listen what Babaji is saying today. With wisdom, with understanding, we will unlock the doors we have locked for long. So just observe your breath, leaving everything from outside as it is. Come to yourself with your breath, through your breath to your heart. Feel it open to receive. Let us connect with Babaji as he is present with every chapter. For all of us, as we are learning, we are giving effort, he is guiding. And his guidance comes through our higher self only. So let us not feel stuck. Let us thank Babaji for this beautiful chapter, another tool. Thank you, Babaji, and thank you, everyone. You may open your eyes now. Let us invite Shailesh for further chapter explanation. Anybody would like to read today? Yes, Anna.
Can I start?
Just give me a moment. I will share the document.
I think Reena wants to read. I will.
Sure.
You came first, so I think just go ahead. Last time also you wanted to read, but you dropped your hand. So just continue.
Yes, sorry.
No worries, Srinaji. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Start.
19th week. Dreaming for truth. You are so much more than you realize, although you are now quickly grasping your totality. This week, you explore another exciting aspect, your dreams.
Right. So all of you must be curious about, right? dreams have been mysterious. People have done all kinds of guesses, right? What the dreams could be. Some people think, well, um, dreams become real. They are telling something. All kinds of notions have people have had. Uh, Scientific research has been done about it. Several experiments have been done, and there is quite a good amount of scientific information that has been gathered from physiological perspective as well, what happens during sleep, etc. um, and we will know more in this chapter today. So there is slightly a different perspective which is being presented here about dreams. And it's just be open to that interpretation about dreams. Each of us have experienced dreams all our life, and we have some sort of notion about dreams, some kind of understanding that we have developed about dreams by listening to others and through our own experiences. So just be open to hearing what this chapter is telling us, how dreams have been explained from a spiritual perspective, from our e- experience development, our evolution perspective, right? So uh, I hope all of you are excited and want to know more about it now. Yeah.
Everyone is fascinated by dreams. Scientists explore the physiology of dreaming. They've noted rapid eye movements, an absolutely still body, and active brain wave patterns. Psychologists look to dreams for analysis to probe deep into the subconscious. Some mystics consider dreams a communication from spirits. Yet, with all the probing, study, and discussion, dreams remain largely a mystery.
Yeah, so scientific experiments have been done. That's what I mentioned earlier as well. That when someone is deep in sleep, the body is completely still, motionless. But there is rapid eye movement that happens at certain stages of sleep. And at that time, they put some sensors around the head to see the brain wave patterns, and that study has been done, what kind of brainwave patterns happen at that time. And then later on, when the person is awake, they talk to them about that dream and find out what was happening, and those kind of things. Lots of studies are there, and these studies have really not been conclusive. This is what we will learn little later in the chapter. So there is some amount of decisions or conclusions scientists have come up, uh, and what is our perspective to that is what we will learn in this chapter.
They are obviously a very significant part of your life. Everyone dreams. Nothing in this world is without a reason. So dreams must have their purpose also.
Yeah. So uh, most why they are saying significant part of your life, why dreams are significant, because we spend a lot of time on that, right? One third of our life goes in sleep, and during that time we dream. So dreams are really uh, coming to us. Dreams are with us for a very large amount of our lifetime. Therefore, it is important for us to know what that is, why they are there, what are they telling, etc. Right? Now, just as you were reading this, I just remembered about one more aspect of dream. You know, we have a saying uh, that some people, they are in a dream state even when with their eyes open, right? Daydreaming, we call it. So that's another type of dreaming. That's also dreaming, and when we listen to this explanation in this chapter, we will be able to understand what that is really. Daydreaming also um, is a significant thing. So let's go further and see.
Indeed, they do. You might say that they are another state of consciousness. Your waking state is one, and dreams are another. While you dream, you live that dream. Its delights and fears seem real to you. Its experiences are acted out in your mind.
Yeah. So now here we are connecting. We are saying, well, where do these dreams happen? Where is that event happening? And that's what he's saying. The experience of dream is in the mind. Um, we all have different states of consciousness, and of course, in our books of knowledge, all those ancient knowledge provided by our gurus, etc. They have all defined four states of consciousness, right? We all, some of you or most of you must be aware of those four: the awakened state, the sleep state, and so on. So that is what he's saying. Dreams are a state of consciousness. Our consciousness uh, goes into that state when we are sleeping. So that is an important connection we need to remember, right? It's dream is not separate from me. It's part of me, and it's part of my state at a certain point in time. Its delights and fears seem real. So both when in my dream, when I'm experiencing any kind of emotion, it feels real, right? You may remember sometimes you would have woken up from your dream crying, right? Or ecstatically happy. All kinds of those experiences that you wake up with, that shows that the experience is real. The dream, we think, well, oh, it was just a dream, which basically we interpret in our head that it was not real, right? When we say it was just a dream, it means we are interpreting that it was not real, but the experience was real. We all experience the emotion or whatever experience that the dream was about. It feels real. So experiences are acted out in your mind. Where was that happening? It was happening only in the mind. And I should not even point like that, because mind is beyond the head. So my mind is the real mystery, not the dreams. Mind, we have to know more. The more we know about the mind, the more we learn about ourselves. So dreams create another level of mystery through that experience that they provide to us. There, as we learn more here, we can actually start thinking of dreams almost like watching a movie, where we are not part of the movie, but we participate emotionally, participate with real experience that we go through when we are watching the movie. So even though we are outside, we are still experiencing that event, that whole thing. So is the dream, right? So yeah, please read further.
For years, mankind has recognized the vast subconscious mind, that huge reservoir of your total input of thoughts and experience. It is your personal computer. It is that part of your mind that you program, so you can go on automatic pilot much of the time. This vast subconscious mind stores the thoughts, ideas, and convictions you give to it. And it is this mind that you use to manifest your experiences.
All right. So here now, from this paragraph onwards, we are starting to build up conceptual building blocks about the dreams, right? So the first concept, the building block, the first concept that we are remembering or reminding ourselves that the vast subconscious mind that we all have, like it is the part of that iceberg which is not visible, right? The tip of the iceberg is visible, which is the conscious mind, which we are constantly aware of. But there is that huge part of our mind, which is called subconscious mind, that is not directly visible or accessible to us. So that part, what is it? He says, we all know that it's a huge reservoir of our total input of thoughts and experiences. So our thinking and the experiences are all collected there. It's a total collection, the total collection of our thoughts and experiences. Now, these thoughts and experiences are accumulated over several lifetimes as well. That's why it's called a reservoir. And it's like it contains all that in the form of knowledge, what we call as wisdom. That's where it comes from. The wisdom comes from there. And now one important physiological aspect he's talking about, it is that part of your mind that you program so that you can go on automatic pilot much of the time. We program it so that we can do so many of our day-to-day functions automatically, right? Simple things that we can think of. Take an example of an infant who is just at a stage where it's not able to even shift in the bed, just keeps lying, and then movement of hands and legs starts, right? And then basically what is happening in that process? We, or that infant, is trying to train the muscular system for certain movements, and then starts to shift in the bed, right? Turnover. That's another aspect of training the subconscious to control the muscles in a certain fashion. Likewise, then the toddler starts to crawl, another set of programming. So that's all training myself, and eventually I learn to stand up, balance myself, and then learn to walk. This is a trained program in my subconscious which now can make me walk. Right? Now, um, in our past lives also we have done this programming. So part of that program does exist, and that's why it doesn't take long for us to learn to do that. We can instinctively start doing it. That's where that instinctive thing comes from. It's a past programming of that particular automated action. Likewise, um, as we grow up, we learn certain behaviors, certain ways of doing things. All that is programming the subconscious to act in a certain way in a specific situation, right? Think about people, this is again a programmed thing. You may not have noticed this. When you go to a temple, you automatically go and fold your hands, right? This, you are not even conscious. You are not doing it consciously. It happens as an automated response of the body because of that environment, the thoughts that we have about a temple and about God or whatever, right? This is an automated response. And likewise, but there are so many, I mean, you can sit and talk about it forever, because most of the actions which we do are automated. If we had to think of every action and do, we can't do much of our practical things. It will be impractical for us to lead a normal life. So that learning part is being called here programming of the subconscious mind. Okay, so it's a learned behavior, and this vast subconscious mind stores the thoughts, ideas, and convictions that we give to it. So it stores. So now, very important thing here: thoughts, ideas, and convictions. our entire belief system basically is stored there. We give to it, we program it, right? So when an infant is born, that infant is not born as anything, just a pure human. And then the programming starts. The infant gets programmed by the environment, whichever environment it is born in, to become one of the same type. So if the infant is born in a Hindu family, becomes a Hindu over time, not as an infant, but over time becomes a Hindu by through the learned behavior. That is called programming. Likewise, if an infant is born in a tribe, becomes a tribal. Whatever are the norms of the tribe, the belief system of the tribe, all those things that are there, that environment basically indirectly programs the subconscious of each member of that environment. Likewise, I mean, we have understood about the group consciousness already now, right? That's where the thoughts come from. Group consciousness sends or provides the thoughts which seem obvious kind of thing to accept, and that gets programmed. Because everybody is doing the same thing, you start doing the same thing, and you just become one of them, part of that group, right? So the subconscious mind is a programmed computer, our personal computer, programmed to exhibit a certain personality. That's what we become. When you think deeper about it, you will also remember, as you were growing up, from your childhood, there were lots of things that you wanted to revolt against. That's where you can understand the difference. What was coming from the environment and what was already embedded within you. You carried from your wisdom. That wisdom, even an infant has the wisdom. We always carry it with us. So that wisdom may reject certain things which are coming. You find it difficult to program or accept and program those things within you. That revolt is again tells you that something was being programmed and your system did not like it. So such of these experiences will tell you a lot about how this programming is working on us. So our total belief system that we have is really not ours in totality. Part of it is coming from, once again, previous programming. So that entire thing is a continuously developing and evolving a machine. It is our personal computer. We carry it from lifetime to lifetime. Okay. Yeah.
This is the reason you can seriously doubt that your thoughts manifest your experiences. I am poor, but I don't want to be poor. I think rich, you say. Fine. But as long as your personal computer says you are poor, that subconscious thought is what you'll manifest.
Right. So now what he's saying is that because this personal computer is already programmed for whatever, let's not go into why, it is programmed now, right? Whatever personality I have developed because of my situations. So I have a programmed computer. But that program versus what I want, there will be always a disconnect. Mostly it is there, right? This is what he's saying, that you can seriously doubt that your thoughts manifest because you don't see your thoughts becoming reality. This is important to understand here. My thoughts are not becoming reality, so I stop trusting that my thoughts are being manifested. And this is why most people don't agree with the fact that I create my own reality. The reason is our conscious mind, the conscious thoughts are not aligned with the programming in the subconscious. So in the subconscious, I have thoughts about problems with rich people, right? There, it could be coming from anywhere. Family experiences, neighborhood, the colony or the city where you are living. The environment gives you a lot of thoughts against becoming rich, and that's programmed. And now in your conscious mind, you, oh, I want to become rich. See Bill Gates, he's living so lavishly, he's got such a beautiful life. I want to become like that. I want to be rich. So conscious versus subconscious, there is a disagreement. That's why it is not manifesting. Now we know that. But most people are not aware of this aspect, that in my subconscious I have something which is not letting me manifest. So they don't believe that my thoughts become reality. Right? This is what is being explained. Okay.
You have subconscious thoughts about everything you experience. Of course, you have some conscious thoughts too. As you become more and more whole, the greater the role your conscious thoughts play. At wholeness, when you are fully integrated with your higher self and your thoughts are one with God's thought, you have whatever you consciously think. The subconscious is your ever obedient servant for whatever you decide to think.
Right. So here in the last paragraph of in previous paragraph, the last sentence, as long as your personal computer says you are poor, that subconscious thought is what you will manifest. So this is a statement. It's the basis that my manifestation is coming from my subconscious. Right? We should understand this thing. Most of my manifestation is coming from subconscious. And you have conscious thoughts about everything you experience, right? You have subconscious thoughts about everything that you experience. So subconscious thoughts are becoming your experiences. So from experiences, actually, you can do a deduction that, okay, what kind of thoughts I'm carrying in my subconscious. You can directly, because that's a direct relationship, it's an outcome. So of course you have some conscious thoughts too. As you become more and more whole, now he is talking about how does this become, how your conscious thoughts can become influential. So as we become more and more whole, the greater the role your conscious thoughts play. Becoming whole, that we have understood, at wholeness, when we are fully integrated with higher self, which we are learning through this book, integrating with the higher self, right? So when we are fully integrated with our higher self, our thoughts are one with God's thought. We accept the qualities of God in us and we start experiencing those qualities in our own life. So you have whatever you consciously think. So what will happen when your thought is aligned with God's thought? You will think of such of those things which are also part of your subconscious. Then that will become your experience. The subconscious is your ever obedient servant. So the more we are aligned with the God's thought, the more we are aligned with God's thought, the more our conscious thoughts will manifest. He's talking about that part now. Conscious thoughts becoming reality. That is possible when we are aligned with God's thought. That's when conscious thoughts will become our reality. So, and in fact, our subconscious, he is saying, in that state of being aligned, subconscious is our ever obedient servant for whatever we want to decide to think. Right? In that state of being unified, in that state of being aligned, becoming the whole, the wholeness level.
Until you reach that point of wholeness, a lot of your experiences come from your being on automatic pilot. You experience what you've programmed.
Right. So till such time our thoughts are aligned with God's thought, or we are away from that point of wholeness, a lot of our experiences come from being on automatic pilot. Our behavior is driven from the subconscious. That's what is automatic pilot, right? My behavior is mostly driven from my subconscious, which is a programmed device. So subconscious is running my physical behavior. Physical behavior is my interface with the physicality. People around me, the environment around me sees me in that mode, whatever my subconscious is presenting through my behavior, right? So you experience what you have programmed, whatever we have programmed. Now, this programming that I have may not have been in my control also. Subconscious gets programmed very early in our life, right? So that programming we have to become aware of, that I did unconsciously program myself to be this, to become an engineer, to become a Hindu, to become a husband, whatever personalities I have got, all such personalities are part of my program. That's the program, right? So, and I'm running my life under that program. That program is what is giving me experiences. That is so very important to understand. And remember that this is how our experiences are becoming real. Yeah.
How can you change the program of the subconscious mind? The techniques of this course will surely and certainly do that. You receive from your higher self the thoughts that need correcting. You verify with your higher self your true desires and learn what thoughts you have that stand in your way. Through the creating formula, you change the program and experience your desires. In this way, your personal computer, the subconscious mind, gets reprogrammed. You're muted, Shaileshji.
So now, because my program is running my life, we have to also now, we have this thought now that, okay, I had no control on my program. Now, if I want to change, how do I do that? That's what he's talking about. So this, because it's a program, it can be reprogrammed. We can all reprogram ourselves. And the technique of this course is certainly helping us in doing that. So, right from chapter 1, whatever we are learning actually is the process of, excuse me, it is the process of self-programming, reprogramming. We are importing new thoughts and repeating them every now and then. That repetition is settling down. That's the process of reprogramming or the programming of subconscious. How do we program our subconscious? Let's say you want to learn to draw, right? You will keep practicing drawing circles, drawing straight lines, and that practice is eventually going to train your system to run in a certain fashion. And then you will start drawing. Once you have learned that, when that programming is over, that for that you have to keep on repeatedly drawing straight lines, circles, squares, all that, right? Then your system got programmed. After that, you, without thinking, you can draw. Then you don't have to pay attention to how your hand is moving. That is the process of programming the subconscious. So likewise, reprogramming is part of the programming process. We can do it in the same way. And in this book, as we are learning through the chapter 1 onwards, is that we are learning a new program in every chapter. So all those microprograms are getting accumulated in the subconscious over a period of 6 months or 7 months that we have been together. we have been reprogramming ourselves. And that reprogram is going to eventually become the behavior, right? So uh, you receive from your higher self the thoughts that need correcting, right? So what, when you want to reprogram, you now want to know, okay, what do I program now? What should be my new program? And to answer that question, you ask your higher self, okay, tell me what part of my program is wrong and I need to reprogram. That is, what thoughts do I need to correct? So you verify that with your higher self, your true desires. Now we start distinguishing between our desires and true desires, right? There are desires and then there are true desires. This, we will come to this thing slightly little later. Sell your true desires and learn what thoughts you have that stand in the way of those true desires, right? So we have learned this through creating formulas. That's the process we are doing. We have a true desire, and to manifest that true desire, I have thoughts to be corrected. That's the process we have learned, right? That's a reprogramming process of the mind. That creating formula is reorganizing the thought patterns, that I want to claim this and I accept this and I remove these thoughts. I let go of these thoughts, and these are the new thoughts I am planting in place of those thoughts that needed correction. I release, right? So that process is this exactly reprogramming process. This is what we have learned here, right? Now, true desires, why have we been working on true desires? The reason for that is, think about your desires today, whatever it may be. Don't analyze. Just think, okay, I have desire that I need to have a car like that, or I need to have clothes like that, right? Now, that's a desire, nothing wrong with it, but is it my true desire? Or is it part of what others imposed on me? That previously programmed subconscious that I am carrying, programmed not by me but through my environment. That program, because of that program, there are a lot of desires that we generate. That's why they are being distinguished from my true desire. My true desires could be different, could be same also, could be different. And those true desires are the desires that we are here to fulfill, right? They get shadowed by environmental impact that makes us do things and desire things which are not fulfilling the true desire in real perspective. Let's take an example, like we were talking about clothes. What kind of clothes you desire is impacted by how you see your environment. You are immediately influenced by fashion. What is fashion? Whatever everyone else is doing, that is influencing you, because that's what is called fashion. And I want fashionable clothes, right? So is this my true desire? Maybe not. Within me, I may have a different liking, but because nowadays that is not liked by everybody, I will keep it in my box, those clothes which I like, but I won't use them till such time that fashion comes back. I am influenced, right? This may not be my true desire. So we have to always be aware about the true desires, and those true desires, unless they are fulfilled, they will never die down. Those, because that's what keeps on pushing us in the direction in which we have to lead this life, to become fully ourselves, to become full expression of myself. I have to fulfill my true desires. That is my pointer in the right direction. So this is what happens. Okay, so through the creating formula, we change the program. and experience the desires. Fulfillment of desire is experiencing that desire being my experience. It becomes my experience. In this way, your personal computer, the subconscious mind, gets reprogrammed. So, creating formula is the procedure to reprogram. And we have used it now in several aspects of our being. We've done that for our perfect health. We have done that for our mm, uh, experiencing love. We have done that for all-knowing intelligence, right? We have done it in so many ways, different chapters. We've used the reprogramming for a different desire. So for each desire, we can reprogram our subconscious mind. That's the procedure. So this book is all about practical techniques, right? In this book, not a lot of knowledge is provided here. It's more about practicing the techniques to reprogram. All right.
We know that your higher self has never really been separated from you. You consciously tried to deny it.
Yeah, please keep reading that. That's
You tried to cut off its communication. You refused to recognize the voice you now hear and love. But you could not stop your higher self from doing everything possible to restore your wholeness and sanity. The erroneous programs of your subconscious mind had to be corrected.
right. So now we know what we have been doing, right? So before we started this unified program, where were we? We were not even aware of the presence of our higher self, that wisdom that we have, that power that we have. We were not even aware through the program. And prior to that, even if we were getting any inner guidance, we used to ignore it because our conscious mind provided logic. Through that logic, we decided to ignore that looks very uh, impractical thing to do. Let me not go there. This is what I do because from experience I know this is what happens when you do this. Right? Every time conscious mind would overtake the guidance coming from behind, the higher self's guidance. So we are constantly ignoring the higher self, the intuition, that wisdom. We were ignoring that constantly. We learned to shut it down. And now that we are aware of that, we are so much in love with our higher self. We lovingly receive the messages. We lovingly interact with our higher self. That sort of a relationship is building now. And higher self, though, did not change anything. Higher self was, even when we were ignoring, was still lovingly providing everything to us. We were simply ignoring. Now we are recognizing, right? That higher self had been constantly trying to see everything possible to restore your wholeness and sanity. Higher self was doing this constantly. We were rejecting it. We were ignoring it because of our own created thoughts. We earlier learned about our fantasies, right? That was the word used earlier. So the erroneous programs of the subconscious mind had to be corrected. Now we know that what part of those programs which we were using to live life, what needed to be corrected. And that's where higher self is helping us. So this aspect of engaging the higher self for the reprogramming process is critical, very important. Yeah.
Since you refused its input while you were awake, the reprogramming suggestions were made while you were asleep through dreams. Dreams are your higher self speaking softly with love to your subconscious mind. Dreams expose the erroneous nature of your thinking and they gently suggest corrections. In that way, your thoughts can change and your experiences can improve. Of course, your experience of a nightmare might overshadow its softness, its love. or its divine purpose.
Right. So now he is taking us towards understanding dream. Now we have learned the mechanism of our subconscious, our higher self helping us, what higher self was doing and where were we blocking all the communication. Now he is coming to dreams. So since we were ignoring our higher self, what was higher self doing? It was while you were awake, the reprogramming suggestions were made while you were sleeping. Because in our wakeful state, we were ignoring the higher self. So during our sleep, higher self was giving these suggestions through dreams. That's what he's saying. Dreams are higher self talking to your subconscious mind in its own way, in its own language. So, dreams are higher self speaking softly with love to your subconscious mind. This is the definition here, right? This is the definition. This is what a dream is. Dreams expose the erroneous nature of your thinking, and they gently suggest correction. So they expose what is wrong with my thinking. That's what the dream is telling. That's what higher self has been trying to tell us, that this is where you are not doing right. Try and work on this, right? So dreams expose the erroneous nature of your thinking, and gently suggests corrections also. Again, pay attention, gently suggests correction. Suggestion only, higher self only suggests, does not instruct. In that way, your thoughts can change your experiences and your experiences can improve. So, by accepting such of those suggestions, our thoughts can change, and through changing the thoughts, we will experience better things. So, of course, your experience of a nightmare. Now, he says, when most of the time when you get nightmares, how do you think that it's a loving suggestion? You may think that it's not a loving suggestion. I was so much panicked through that dream. That nightmare may overshadow or it may eclipse the softness and the love that behind that suggestion, right? But remember that that's only a loving suggestion. All dreams are loving suggestion to the subconscious directly, that this is where there is a problem. You may want to look at it. That's a loving suggestion, right? And the problem is expressed because it's a problem. It's expressed as a problem. That's why it's a painful experience. The dream is painful, right? Yeah. Okay.
The language between your higher self and your subconscious mind is different than the language of your waking state. Dreams use a language of symbols. This has long been recognized by psychologists, and some have even tried to come up with a list of universal symbols. Unfortunately, such lists have only served to discredit the idea of dream symbols. They are not universal. While it is not unusual for many people to experience the same or similar symbols, after all, we are all connected. Most symbols are one's own. It is the unique language understood between one's higher self and one's subconscious mind.
All right. So this is where when I in the beginning when I said be open, that was the meaning. The description here may conflict with your current understanding of dreams, right? So what he's explaining here is that dreams, there's a specific language, or not even specific, it's a different language of communication between higher self and the subconscious. They are communicating using a different language, which is mostly symbolic. It is not our language that we speak or we understand in our wakened state. So the language between subconscious and higher self is symbolic. Now, when you say symbolic, we should not immediately jump to a conclusion that it's a visual symbol. It could be a symbolic experience as well, symbolic situation, right? Same type of situation being shown again and again, right? So this, what psychologists have done, they have tried to create a table of interpretation. Well, okay, when such a symbol appears, this is how you should interpret it. But this is a critical understanding here. This is where we are deviating from that general thought that psychologists have tried making a table, tried making a correlation between symbol and the interpretation. What he says is that they are not universal. This is where we are differing. Those symbols are not universal. While it is not unusual for many people to experience the same or similar symbols, most symbols are one's own. They are specific to a person. So like what I see, if I see the same thing as you are seeing in your dream, it could mean different things to you and to me. So it cannot be a standard interpretation. Like you see, you experience rain during a dream. I also experience rain during a dream. And it may mean something else to you, may mean something else to me. So psychologists say, water means emotions. If you experience water in your dream, that means you are experiencing emotions. It represents emotion. But that's not a universal interpretation. It may mean something else to you and something else to me. This is what we are learning here. It is unique language understood between my higher self and my subconscious mind. Very specific, right? They too communicate in a certain language. So be aware of that. That's why, the corollary to this would be your dreams cannot be interpreted by anyone except you. Understand this, because that language will not be understood by anybody. Your higher self and you will only understand that. Your subconscious, you and your higher self. That language so we will now understand more further about that. So, yeah.
If your dreams could be understood, they would give you a clear picture of some of the thoughts you need to correct to be in tune with God's thought. But how can they be understood? It's easy. You just ask your higher self to tell you in your waking language what they mean.
Correct. So now we understand that, okay, that message coming in the dream is the thought which I need to correct. So it is important for me to know what that is, right? This is what he is now explaining. How can I understand that? So if I have to interpret my dream myself and nobody else can do it for me, what this means is that I need to know what it is. I need to understand it. And the process is simple, right? It's easy. You can just ask your higher self to tell you in your waking language. So your higher self can explain that symbolic dream in your language, right? So say for example, if most of you probably would experience this thing, that you would continuously see one type of dream uh, for a very long period of time. Long period in the sense several years. For me, that was, now it doesn't happen anymore, but up to a certain point in my life, I used to regularly see a dream where I was struggling to catch up. It could be an examination. I'm dreaming that I have to go for an exam and I don't have a cycle to go, right? Or I don't have my pens to write the exam, or I don't have that the entrance card for the exam. Many such things, those were they used to keep repeating for a very long time in my uh, earlier years of life. Even though I had completed university and everything, I was working. Even then, the exam used to be part of that, right? And that dream, actually it stopped. I'm not even aware when it stopped, but it doesn't come anymore. And what now, after learning this, what I am interpreting is, once I'm it was my subconscious learned to correct such of that thought, which was to be corrected through that dream. When my subconscious corrected it, that's when that dream stopped coming, right? And I can imagine what it is. Personally, I used to constantly struggle for time. My normal statement was, I have no time. I used to think that 24 hours is not enough in a day, right? That thought within me was causing this kind of a dream to come. And at some point in my life, I I must have shared with you that I had removed my wristwatch. Ever since, I have never worn my wristwatch. I said, well, I just leave it. I just allow things to happen, and I will keep doing what I need to do, but not worry about the result or get stuck to the result. So I removed my watch. The first thing this was an instinctive thing. I removed my wristwatch and I have never worn it since then. And this was way back in 2010, sometime around that. Yeah, 2010. So been about 15 years. Of course, we do have our watches on the phone nowadays, but that when that happened, that was an action that was correcting my thought. Ever since, trust me, I have luxury of time. I am never short of time anymore. Everything happens perfectly on time for me. I'm never short of time. I had to just let go, right? That letting go helped me. So although I did not do it with all this knowledge, I just did it. All that I did was from intuition. I just did it and I felt good, so I continued with it, right? And the trigger was Osho's lectures. From listening to Osho, this got triggered within me. All right, yeah.
We'll have to move it on.
Okay.
Today, do a creating formula to remember your dreams tonight. There is no need to write this formula out. Just go through each section, receiving help and guidance from your higher self when appropriate.
Right. So we will now, this is the exercise for this week. So today you can get ready to do a creating formula. You know the procedure for doing a creating formula. We will write a formula for this purpose. What is the purpose? Remembering my dreams tonight. Right. So the purpose, or why we will do the formula, will be to remember the dream. Okay. And just go through each section. You don't have to actually write it now. By now you should have the practice. You just go through each section in your mind, because again it is reorganizing my thought. I am reprogramming my mind, right? Just go through each section, receiving help and guidance from higher self when appropriate, right? So do that. We are going to learn more now. Yeah.
When you go to bed tonight, put paper and pen within reach. Then, as soon as you wake up, write everything you remember about the dream, even if it seems insignificant. Places, buildings, people, time, action involved, feelings experienced, anything unusual, what was said, colors, and so on. Write as much as you remember and write it quickly. You only you only have a couple of minutes before the memory of most dreams fade. Even if you are sure you'll remember the dream, write it down. You will probably forget that dream faster than you think.
Right. So this is specifically here what he's saying, that the memory of the dream doesn't last for long after you wake up. And the reason is your conscious mind becomes active. So you come out of your alpha state after you wake up, right? So coming out of alpha states will remove that memory. So what you need to do is be prepared to make a note. You may feel at that time, oh, I will remember this detail, but actually that memory doesn't. From experience, you would already know, right? You only remember some part of the dream, not the whole dream, not the detail. And what he's saying is, you need to write down every detail of the dream, even though it seems insignificant, right? He's given examples here. So being ready to write is very important. So at bedtime, keep a pen and paper by your bedside so that you can immediately, uh, you don't have to search for a pen and paper. If you search for pen and paper in the morning, you will come out of your alpha state in the process. Your conscious mind will take over, right? So you will miss the dream. And that's why be prepared, and then make a note of every detail, everything that you can remember at the time from your, and once you start writing, that detail will start flowing as well. So what kind of place it was, people, time, building, what kind of feeling you were experiencing, anything unusual that was going on, what kind of colors you were seeing, whatever was being said, etc., any of these things, just make a note. That note, when you make a note, remember that you, even though you are thinking that I can remember, the details will be lost. So even if you are sure you will remember the dream, write it down. You will probably forget that dream faster than you think, right? This is important. So take, why do we want to now make a note of the dream? First, we have done a creating formula that I will remember my dream. I remember my dream. That creating formula gives me the ability to remember. Now I am making a note. This is step 2. I make a note of details of the dream. Now what did we do with that note? This is what we do next. Yeah.
Use your quiet period to learn the meaning of the dream. Simply ask your higher self to feed you the interpretation of the dream. Don't anticipate. You'll be surprised how different the meaning is compared to what you would have guessed. Make sure that all aspects of the dream are interpreted. What did each person in the dream stand for? What did each building signify? Did the time have any significance? What did the activity mean, etc.? After you think you have the complete interpretation, ask, is that all? Keep going with the interpretation until you get a yes signal. Then go one step further. Find out what creating formula would hasten the reprogramming called for in the dream. This is important. It is your chance to take conscious control of the process.
Right. So basically, the procedure is the same that we are used to, right? You can use your quiet period to do the communication with the higher self, and use the notes that you have for the questioning part of it, right? Ask the higher self to feed you the interpretation of the dream. Okay, interpretation of that dream. Any specific questions you have, you can ask there. Now be aware that even though you may not have been able to capture, let's say, the feeling of the dream properly, remember your higher self already knows. Why do you think higher self already knows? Because that dream came from the higher self. So the higher self, it is higher self's expression. So higher self knows what was to be communicated. And what we are asking the higher self is to tell me in my language that I can understand the interpretation of that dream. Right? This is the process we are doing. So make sure that all aspects of the dream are interpreted. Our notes help us to cover all aspects, so we don't miss anything that we have made note of. And remember, when you are writing down your dream, the details of dream, you this your automated process will capture only the things which are relevant to you. There may be much more in your dream which you will probably not capture, and that's a normal thing. That's a very good process. It's an intelligent process, right? So ask all those things. What did whatever each person was saying, what was the meaning of that? Why was that person saying? Is that exactly what I need to understand, or is there a message behind that thing being told to me, right? So what was the significance of the place, and like that, everything that is there in your notes, ask about it, the meaning of everything, right? And once all that is done, then ask the higher self. This is the last question. Is that all? That means you have notes and you have asked interpretation. Let's say there are 6 items. You have asked the interpretation for the 6 items. After that, you ask, is that all? And if the higher self has more to tell you, you are opening up for that. So if there is more to come, higher self will tell you. Otherwise, higher self will say, okay, that is all. Right? Now, after this, the conversation is complete. You have got the interpretation. Now go one step further. What is the next step? Use that interpretation now. That knowledge that you got from higher self, now use it. Doing what? Do a creating formula to bring about correction, because that entire dream is to correct. It's a thought to be corrected. So now do a creating formula, right? This is important. This is the purpose actually of this whole chapter. This is the purpose. Find out what creating formula will hasten the programming called for in the dreams. So in the dream, higher self wanted the subconscious to be reprogrammed about a certain aspect. How can I expedite it? Right? How can I make it fast? And that this is the process for making it quick. Making it quick will take me closer to my unified status. The more of these things I do, the sooner I will reach my unified status. Right? So this is important. It is your chance to take conscious control of the process. So by doing a creating formula, you are taking control of it now. You are taking control of that activity, that action, that suggestion being made by the higher self, right? And what will it do to me? It will remove the hurdle in my manifestation of my true desire. That is the actual purpose. So I will achieve my true desires more rapidly. Okay.
After your quiet period is finished, write out the dream interpretation and on a separate sheet, write down all the symbols used and what they mean. You may find that the same symbol has a different meaning in different dreams.
Right. Now, in the previous paragraph, I ignored to tell you this thing, that don't anticipate. So when you have a note about your dreams, so you have a few things written down from your earlier experience, in your after waking up, when you wrote down your dream, you can start anticipating, oh, this could be the meaning, right? He's saying don't do that. You will be surprised how different the meaning is. When your higher self tells you the interpretation, it could be way different from what you were logically thinking or concluding. That's what this is, right? So what he's saying, after the quiet period is finished, write out the dream interpretations now, so that you can cross check between your understanding versus what was told by higher self, right? So write down all the symbols used. Symbols would not be just a visual shape or something. it will be an experience, an event, or whatever, right? And what they mean really, what was told to you, the interpretation. And you may find that same symbol has a different meaning in different dreams. That's a new learning here. For you yourself, the same symbol could mean different things. So what what we are being taught here is be open. Be open. Don't logically start concluding on the dream. Yeah.
Then finish the daily project by saying the creating formulas brought to light by the dream analysis. Again, there's no need to write out these formulas. By now, they are quite natural for you.
Yeah. So once we know what I need to work on, I do the creating formula. We don't really need to write it down. And basically what I'm doing is reorganizing my thought. Yeah.
During your activity this week, make a conscious effort to live your life with the new programming you know has come about by means of the dreams, their analysis, and the creating formulas. Expect new and wonderful experiences.
Right. Yeah. So this is a very beautiful conclusion. During your activity this week, make a conscious effort to live your life with new programming, right? So now begin to see your life with the new program, new thought, right? And that new in the because this new thought you have done in full awareness, knowing what was to be corrected and knowing what the corrected information is, right? Correction, both the things, right? So you have the analysis by means of your dreams. The dream is now a powerful tool in knowing the deeper obstructions to your fulfillment of true desires. So when your true desires are going to start getting fulfilled now through the dream activity, what will happen? New and wonderful experiences will come. And those new and wonderful experiences, what you are looking for. And just enjoy. Thank you. Thank you, Anna, for beautiful reading. It's so helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shailesh ji. Thank you, Anna. So what do you suggest? Shall we get into meditation, the quiet period practice, or anybody has any quick question before we get into the practice? All right, then we'll go into the practice. Sheelam ji.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My little bit of this thing wanted understanding in this small paragraph. To do a creating formula to remember your dreams tonight, there is no need to write the formula. Just go through each section. Each section means what they mean. Each chapter to
No, no,
receive.
no. Each
And
section of the formula, we have 7 parts of the formula,
okay.
right? And in 7 parts, 4 parts are pretty much common, right?
Yeah.
In between 2 parts are different for each situation, right? So what he's saying is go through it mentally.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So we had a lot of different perspective about dreams, but Babaji is simplifying that all your dreams are actually your communication from your higher self. It is just a reprogramming suggestion. Reprogramming is not actually happening, although we are creating experiences. But the experience is vague as we have not interpreted it. So we take the dream in the conscious state and we interpret it, and then we reprogram our subconscious by the creating formula. So this is the 2-step process. First, know your dream, then correct your dream or correct the thought that you have received. If there is a frightened or it's a nightmare, you want to take that thought from that dream and then correct it and then do the creating formula. So that way we are using our day and night to reprogram our subconscious every day in awake. When we are in awake state, we are reading the chapter and practicing whatever it is, as much as we can. But as we know that we spend a lot of time while we sleep, so we can use that time to perfect the to receive the wisdom from our higher self, and it is impressed in our it is impressed in our subconscious, which we take and correct. And the more we change our thinking, correct our thinking, and the more we start aligning our conscious mind with our subconscious mind, and then we start creating those experiences. So then, as we think, we create. We create by consciously thinking. And because now our thoughts are aligned with God's thought, now there's no thought of fear, judgment, or irritation, or doubt, or insecurity. So that is how we are shifting from that lower mind to higher mind, or the lower self is now expressing the higher self. As we are becoming love, we are aligning ourselves with the the true creation of God. As we were created, we were created perfect, we were created with all those divine qualities, but we forgot to use it. We just used the little lamp, and then we were walking all the way. Many lifetimes passed. Now Babaji is giving simple tool to go back and remember your truth. So these tool will help us in that process to become love. So you might have had those experiences from your real life, where your relatives or your deepest fear is happening in your dream, because it's a blessing that those things doesn't happen in our real life, because in that dream we receive the message, and very intuitively we correct it also. No, we deny whatever is not right. We do not, if we keep that in our mind, that suppose something wrong is happening with me, there's a thief inside my home, or somebody's behind me, then if we are not correcting that thought, then we see it happening in our life. So that correction is very much important. That awareness is very much important. Although the dreams are the symbol of language of symbols, so we will understand as um, we feel it, right? Experiences cannot be put in words. The feeling, the experiences are more than the words. The feelings are so deep and intense. It impresses, it leaves its impression in our mind. We keep thinking about it. Sometimes we even scared to go back to sleep. So those thought has to be corrected in order to align ourselves with God's thought. Otherwise, our subconscious will keep creating our experiences, and we'll think, oh, how do people say we create our own reality? I don't think like that, but my reality is not saying that, because we have a lot in our subconscious that we are not aware of, and our higher self is now, we are coming aware that our higher self is also guiding us in sleep. Even though we can't see it in my daytime, I have been ignoring the messages. I am receiving the messages now in my dream, through my dreams. So let us get into the practice, Shalishi, or do you have any
Yes,
question?
yeah. Question we will do at the end, right?
Sure.
Let's finish the practice, then we will do the question. So, Rupaji, I will answer your question once we are done with the practice. Yeah.
I think Rupali had this question for a long time now. You be happy that you will get your answers. So as we wait, we receive the benefit of Babaji's discourse. Is covering all the important aspect of we knowing ourselves. So it's a journey of knowing our true self, living the truth. So it has many roles. So our dreams is also a dream of truth, not just random uh, hanging piece of life. It is telling us something. So let us just be comfortable. Take all this, what we have heard for all this time. Take a slow breath, deep and long. Feel your body, feel yourself totally, your totality, what it is. Does anybody need to tell what my totality is? How do I feel my totality? Feel it right away in your heart space. The words are not enough to express the magnificent creation we all are of God with love. Let us park aside all those thoughts of doubts, worries. If you have any question, you may just want to write it down and forget about it. If you have any conflicts or disagreement or doubts, let us also park this aside and just be. No need to rush. Just relax. Bring your awareness to your heart space. Feel it as if only that center exists. When you are breathing from that center, you're feeling from that center. You may want to connect with this group energy to feel that love more intensely. I connect with this group energy, unified group energy, and feel the love flowing in and flowing out with every breath. Sitting in circle, hands in hands, we're passing, transmitting this love energy. Experience your being is this. In my being, there is no pain, no hurt. It's only love. I am love. Feel that gentle smile in your heart as it feels safe. It feels recognized, acknowledged. All this time, it was just waiting for us to feel it, to know it, to recognize it. That God's love is sitting there, pulsating every moment. Let this love be only your identity, not just at the center, but entire body. Is pulsating love into your energy field, your aura. Breathe in, breathe out, expand. Feel that love expanding and radiating outward from your heart. To all uninvited influences in my aura, I send love and light. You are each whole and healed. You are each created as love and light. You are still love and light. No need to be afraid. Do not feel the pain. I know a perfect place for each one of you to go. And I request my higher self to take you there now. Each one of you go in peace. I set you free. And I close my aura to all except my higher self. Take name of your higher self to feel that deeper connection. Since we exist, this connection exists, this presence exists. Now let this love radiate outward as you glowing as sun. I send this love and light to all the thought forms, to all the things all around me. I am love, and I send love to all these thought forms, are love and light. Send this love and light to any memories that is appearing, any worries, and just be free, be love, be you. Your totality, your wholeness is right here, right now, in this present moment. With all the perfection, imperfection that makes me whole. And I am at ease with it. My beautiful higher self, please give me your signal now. Thank for that signal that comes automatically as we feel the love. We are aware. My dear higher self, today I want to learn the truth of my dreams in this quiet period. Just be there and guide me throughout. Feel that signal always present during your quiet period. Let us unify with God. By feeling its presence. Feeling your own presence, that I am made in the image of God. And all these God qualities are mine. God is love, so I am love. Who can tell us how that love feels? Feel it right here, right now. In your feeling center. It's continuously generated. It is the source of this life and all that exists. I am connected with every breath. Feel these God qualities expanding, permeating into every cell of your body as you say so. It happens. God is light, and I am light. That lightness is love. Is freedom. God is happiness, joy, and bliss. And I am happiness, joy, and bliss. Again, that source is I am, because I exist. God is peace and gentleness. I am peace and gentleness. Feel it intensifying in your heart space. That I stay with my experiences. My being in existence is that joy I express in all that I do. God is all-knowing intelligence. I am all-knowing intelligence. Whatever I wish to choose, I wish to know, it comes to me. As I ask, I receive. God is omnipresent, present everywhere. God is deep, infinitely wide. I am that. I am deep. I am infinitely wide, present everywhere. How do I express my depth? It is in that stillness that we carry with all these qualities. God is truth. And so I am truth. Petal by petal, I'm just opening that truth in me, living every moment, cherishing it. God is infinite energy. I am that. I am infinite energy. To do all I wish to do. As God is infinite potential, omnipotent, I am infinite potential, omnipotent. That energy in expression, that love energy in expression, radiating all the other God qualities. Joy, peace, abundance, light, grace, all-knowing intelligence. I am perfect. As God made me perfect, I am that perfection. God is perfect, so I am perfect. Whole and complete. God is non-judgmental. I am non-judgmental. One with God, one with everything. As I drop this you and me, I feel everything. I feel the wholeness of all that exists. I'm that unique expression of this quality, of this creator. I'm unique. I'm a creator. I'm one with God. Now let us say our creative formula to remember our dream. God and I claim and accept that I remember my dream in details with forgiveness and thanks. Amen. I thank God for the dreams. That helps me correct my thinking. Now I know my dreams are the messages from my higher self. I am more alert now, and I wish to remember my dream. Because of any reason, if I have blocked my dream, my beautiful higher self, please help me to correct my thinking. Please tell me those thoughts that doesn't let me remember my dreams. You may want to write down what it is. Maybe you had a thought that dreams are useless. Or you have no willingness to remember it. Or you have that perception that you do not dream. Whatever belief you had, make a note of it so that we can correct it. Maybe you just felt what I keep thinking, I dream. Now let us heal and release these thoughts You can change these thoughts into the correcting thoughts with truth, with God's thought. I heal and release my thoughts that makes me forget my dreams. Dreams are a useful tool for me in order to know myself. My dreams are loving suggestions from my higher self. Now I know my dreams have a purpose, and I dream for truth. As we heal and release our thoughts blocking our creation, let us claim and accept that we remember our dreams, and our dreams are for truth. I claim that I remember all the details of my dreams, all the messages as I wake up. I remember the very details, the places, buildings, people, time, actions, feelings, all that I experience. I accept that I remember all the symbol from the dreams. And I understand their meaning. I accept I dream for truth. My higher self guides me to analyze the dream. Feel your heart space in state of forgiveness. That love is still pulsating. The heart space still expanded and light. Knowing that there is nothing to forgive. Life is forgiving love. Now I thank God for connecting me to the truth of my dreams. I release this claim to God and the natural laws of creation. My claim is now complete. That is the nature of natural law. Amen. This is one part of the practice. We can perform it many times in our day to remind us, to remind ourselves the importance that dream carries. And it is meaningful. We will remember it. Now, bring up any of your dream and ask, my dear higher self, please tell me the meaning of the messages I receive in my dream so that I understand. See your dreams again, people, person, place. What time it was. You may want to write down as you are seeing it vivid again. Ask your higher self, please tell me what each person in my dream meant. Write the person name and your feelings or thought you receive from your higher self. What did each building represent? The place I was in. Sometimes these are dark places, strange structures. See it clear and receive the message. Is there any significance for the time? What is going on? The activity. If you have any confusion about it, you may ask or check with your higher self. About your dreams. Did you note it correct? Check for yes and no signal. If you have any question, get it answered with yes and no signal. If you have any patterns in your dreams, many dreams are coming, telling the same thing. Ask for the message. Note all your thoughts you are receiving as you put up the question. And when you feel you have complete interpretation, ask, is that all? Continue interpreting until you get a yes signal. And now make a creating formula to correct the thoughts that need improvement. Whatever you are receiving from your dreams, write down your creating formula. Now let us thank our higher self for suggesting thoughts for us to align with truth, for helping us analyze our dreams, for always prodding and nudging so that we learn from our own experiences for being present with love, with wisdom, with light, in the language I could understand. Thank my higher self for always being there for me. That is me. As I know love, I know my wholeness. Let us thank Babaji for another tool that we need. We can be grateful for our dreams when we use it rightly. Now feel this love and send it to your loved ones, to your home, and everything around you, to any of your memories or even dreams that you are scared of. The most fearful situation you have in your mind. Send this love. Fear of future, worries of past. Send this love and disconnect to live, enjoy the present, the gift that we all have in this now. Knowing that in this now all is well, and in all that time I worry for is all is well. For my highest and for my highest good. Now let us close our aura to all except our higher self. I close my aura to all except my higher self. Take a slow, long, deep breath in. Feel your presence, feel your being. Feel the state you are in, more comfort, much more lighter. As life reveals itself, is much more behind what we see. The drama, the acting, the experiences, they are all outcome of our thoughts. And behind that, there is a silence, lesson going on. Someone is trying to express itself. Someone is trying to accept itself. Someone is trying to find the survival, figure out relationship, the two working together, and my expression. These are all beauty of God. As we clap for toddlers speaking, stammering, the life evolves in such a beautiful way. From bud as a flower bud to a full bloom flower. It's a journey in itself. And we are so grateful for this life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks to each one of you for being present here, for joining me on this journey today. Thank you. You may feel your hands, your legs, wiggle them, try to unclasp, open up, and put your hands over your eyes. Breathing these beautiful energies, your total existence you experienced. Welcome back and thank you once again. You may sip some water. You may want to write some notes, some of your thoughts, feelings, and then you can open up to ask questions or share your experience. Thank you. Thank you. Over to you, Shalishi.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, to start with, let me answer the question that Rupaji had posted. Is it possible to see past life experiences in dreams? So, the simple answer is yes, but how do you know? You can't verify anything. The understanding that we are developing from this chapter is that dreams are messages from higher self to the subconscious. Past life information is part of subconscious already. And whatever we experience during dreams is symbolic. It is not actual event. It is only to create a realistic experience that you can have during the dream. Just like this life. In this life, what we call as reality is part of a dream state. Most people are living in that state, this life. Only awakened ones are not sleeping, others are all actually sleeping as living human beings. So, whatever is experienced in this life can be called a dream. That's why there is a thing called awakening, isn't it? So, past life experiences are part of your wisdom already. Now, one may have curiosity about past life experiences. Oh, what happened? Past life experiences or experiencing past life experiences has a specific purpose. There are two possibilities, two things. One is that that experience is still an unresolved thought to be corrected. That could be one reason, right? So you may want to re-experience it and then work on it. This is what hypnotherapists do with you. This is how they help you heal the past life. And because of that healing, it's your deeper healing. You experience that healing in your present state, present body, present physical existence. So you can feel it. So I think that's the only purpose of re-experiencing past life. Other than that, there is no need. There is absolutely, you have gone through it already. Why go back there again? Right?
But sometimes there are unresolved issues in that life, so we carry it to this life and then we make it more worse so that we could get more triggers to resolve that pattern or thinking that is that we are holding deep. Oh, somebody did something to me, and it was so much injustice with me, poor me. I was right,
But when we bring it to this life, we recreate it in a different style, different way, different um, event.
situation, but
Yeah, yeah,
the lessons or that thought that will be correcting will be
correct. So the core is same, but in this lifetime we recreate it differently so that we can now attempt that exam. That's what that is. But you don't really need to go to past life for that. Past life experience, the only purpose that I have known so far, and like this is all recorded um, studies by psychologists, how past life regression helps heal people, and that's perfect. That's probably is the only use of looking into past life. Other than that, it will only give you pain, nothing else. Once again, the even during past life regressions, you can't, or anyone cannot see everything of a past life. You see only specific things from past life which have a purpose now. Other than that, you won't even see it. Nobody can experience it again. So that is the message I would want to communicate about past life. There's no need to be curious about it. When that experience is that the past, anything from the past life, when it is ready to be resolved, we have reached that point in our journey, that thing will reappear in this life through another experience. So you don't really need to dig. But many there are I have seen, with my own eyes, I have seen that healing happening right in front of me by getting connected to the past life event. You can heal, and I have seen that happening. But the other than that, there is absolutely no purpose, right? Or maybe you are writing a book on history.
no. I mean, it's not about the drama or the play. It's about the messages that that dream carries or the experience it is trying to give. So focus on that. So the way we change our awareness, the understanding, and we get more clarity. So we are not stuck in many of the previous past lives, because that's just the way. I think that's why this last line came as I was closing the meditation, that all that experiences are real and everybody is intricately connected, and we give experience to others, we receive experiences from others, anybody at different level, everybody's learning something, right? So there's no other way because nobody comes and tell that, okay, you don't do this. We learn by doing things. So there are experiences and we just have to, we learned forgiveness, we learned acceptance. In those
But
terms, we can nullify those.
whatever you are witnessing in your dream is not exactly the event of the past life, is what I'm trying to explain. May not be. It's all symbolic, right? So you, if you, let's say you experience something, being in a place and or some olden time or whatever, right? It's not necessarily that in your one of your past lives you were like that. Not necessary. It is just a symbolic story to make you understand a message. That is important to understand. This is what we are learning from this, right? And the same story will give you different meanings at different times. That's another thing we have learned. Symbols are, they don't have a universal meaning. You will have to interpret it at that time when you witness it, right? That these are important things that we are learning in this thing, so that we are not kind of leading ourselves in that maze of doubtful thoughts. Remain with the knowledge that we now have, and it's very clear knowledge in this chapter.
Rupaji, if you got clarity, you can just
Yeah.
put, maybe you
Yes.
want to share something, you
She,
can.
yeah, she's got it, she says.
So the same way we can even analyze our meditation experiences. Instead of asking anybody, we really can't get answer from others. You just have to take the same thing and ask higher self any details. Just take time, and once in that state of unified, today we did that practice where we want to learn our dreams. So that practice you may not have to do it once you start remembering your dreams, but you can just go ahead and ask your higher self that, please explain me, tell me more about this, why this person came, what was it, the message I was getting. If you have any doubt that am I creating from my head, then ask, am I getting it correct? Today I got that during the meditation, that am I even asking the right um, thing I dreamt, or I'm just making it from my head. So put that, first write your dreams clearly, and then underline, and then you may want to write again with every name, every person, every time, situation, building, experiences, any color. So you read the chapter and again you will get the clarity.
And the same thing is valid for our past life, not past life, past, I would say simply past.
Or
So,
future.
now, in your childhood, for example,
Childhood.
you experience something, and the memory of that experience that you have today may not exactly be what actually happened at that time. That information changes with ourselves. We change and we tend to forget and then recreate whatever we missed, right? So we add to that story sometimes. So be very careful about even your thoughts on the past, your own past, this lifetime, the past of me in this lifetime. And to do that, you may do an experiment actually. You can physically do an experiment. Any
Many of
current,
us
and
go.
yeah, any current experience, just journal it with a date and time. Just write down whatever you currently, any experience that you have, make, put all the details of that experience in your awakened state, nothing to do with dreams. Make a note of that and keep it in a notebook somewhere. 1 year later, think about that incident. Well, this is what my memory says. That's what I experienced at that time. Then open that notebook and see how different your thought is versus what actually happened. And that is going to tell you how we carry incorrect memories and make them impact us in the wrong way. This is why all the wise people always say disconnect from the past. Disconnect from the past. The reason for that is that only. Our memories, they do lead us in the wrong, to wrong conclusions, wrong opinions, all kinds of things, wrong judgments, and many things. So you actually try writing this. I know that when I open my journal, which I wrote probably 5 years ago, I opened one of my journals which I used to write at that time, and I was amazed at what I had written there. That doesn't support my memory, right? So try doing this experiment. You will know how our memory um, cannot be trusted. I would say that, right?
That's why Babaji is saying write your dreams first thing in the morning before even you think about anything. So these days I can just tell you that I don't even go and say that I am love, I am light, or any gratitude or any thank. I just wake up and go for my pen and paper. So as I said yesterday, I was sharing that I was not getting my dreams. I was not remembering it. Then yesterday, after many repetition, I got my dreams today. made a note of it this morning.
See, Neha just reads my head. I don't know. We have some connection, Neha, in our this, like my source and your source. They are connected somewhere. Exactly this thought I had. Exactly what you have written there. With the So what Neha has written here in the chat, with the past life talk, I realized that it may be a higher self creating a vision slash movie for us just to guide us. So that past life regression scenario could also be a higher self guidance.
It is, right? Whatever is coming in your mind in that state, that's what the book says, the dream state where you do not have control, right? You cannot control your dreams or change it. It just happens.
Neha, did you get a spare key for my locker? Good, good, good. Oh my God. Neha is going to kill the business of many people. No, 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 no. Now it has a different purpose though, right? Past life regression is helpful. It is helpful. Yeah.
It
If
everything is
Because
for
remember, most people do not even understand higher self, right? They have no connection with higher self. So for such of those people who are learning this thing and practicing this thing, actually are able to get results from what we are doing in Unified, they can definitely, yes, they don't need to go anywhere now. Their
all
higher
of
self is
that
there.
childhood trauma, even that child therapy, inner child
Everything.
therapy, and all that. Everything can be healed right here with your dreams because your higher self wants you to learn all of it. So it's a real healing process, and we all can do by ourselves, just by accepting and making ourselves more aware and willing. So past life, I think it's very much fascinating, interesting, and it's a very crucial um, point where we, you know, start to explore our spiritual journey. It's very much important, and I thank those hypnotherapists who have made such a beautiful collection of all the experiences. Many people had similar experiences, and how it healed them, right? It was a healing methodology. Many people are using it now because not everybody is here. So as we have the tool, we can use it.
And lot of knowledge that we have accumulated about the spiritual existence came from past life regressions only. Lot of that, actually most of that knowledge, and that was systematically recorded, like what happens when you die and what does the soul do and stuff like that. Many of these books that we read on spirituality are written by people who treated their patients, psychologists. They have written, right? They have gathered all those information, studied, and created this knowledge bank for all of us. So just know that this is a powerful thing. Essentially, um, we should learn to make use of this thing, make use of this knowledge that we are receiving in this chapter. It's a very powerful knowledge, and that's why it's towards the end of this book, is that because it needed us to be ready for it through practice. That's why it is here in this part of the book. Like I mentioned about my experience about healing through past life regression, I will explain to you. It was not exactly a past life regression session. I was attending a course on reading Akashic records, and one of the participants who was also attending the course together with me, she accessed her own Akashic record, which is basically history of your past experiences. And she accessed one of her lifetimes where she was actually a soldier. and in the battlefield she was killed by another soldier by putting a spear through her back. And in this lifetime, she had a chronic back pain for which the doctors were not able to diagnose a reason. And when she witnessed that scene in her Akashic record, she was able to release that pain, release that, okay, it's, I am no more in that life. I had that experience and I'm done with it. Now I understand why there's no need for me to carry this pain with me. And she released it there and expressed her gratitude for having gone into this knowing, right? And once she came out of Akashic records, closed the records, etc., she said that my pain has gone. She used to have a back pain and she said it's completely gone right there on spot. And I have seen this, actually this was happening during the course when I was there. So these are the kind of things that are possible, and that many people have experiences like that. This is just something I had seen, but many people have experienced healing through past life regression. So just know that it is a very potent thing. But now we understand the reason why it happens, how it can be healed, right? By again correcting the thought. This whole process of past life regression is thought correction process. The thought which is embedded in your subconscious is brought up through that dream or that past life regression. It's brought up, opened, and then released. That is the mechanism, right? So understand that one. The whole thing, basically, it's the subconscious mind. To me, Akashic record is in my subconscious mind. It's a record of all my experiences. So, and I carry it with me wherever I go. Whenever I take birth, I come into a body, I carry it with me. That's my baggage. Yeah. So this is all I had to add for today. If you have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, we can close the session for today. Please do read this chapter line by line. A lot is there in the chapter. So the more you read, the clear you will be on the exact detail being explained here. In this chapter, in a very nice step-by-step process, we have been explained the total connection of our dreams. What do they do, where do they come from, and how does our subconscious mind work with it. So it's a process of reprogramming of subconscious mind. All right, so please do read. More questions, we can talk about them tomorrow and day after tomorrow. 2 days we have, and then of course on Sunday we will do the question answers. So continue to practice and have a wonderful day or night wherever